up, guys?
What's up, Ahmed? I was going to ask you while he's standing here to make him listen to it. Is Ashton Genty the best player in college football?
Absolutely. And somebody got to stop him, man. I need the rest on defense. I'm just out there. I'm just like 10-minute drive, and I'm just like, oh, Ashton doesn't score. Time to go again. But no, man. Other than he's a great player, he's a great teammate. I mean, he's an awesome human being. You know, he loves this team. He loves his coaches. He loves us, and man, I couldn't just be more proud of him. He's a Heisman Trophy for a reason. You know, just not because of his football abilities, because he's the person he is and how he handles himself in every day.
How much do you guys really feed off of him? Because it feels like, especially second half, he'd have one of those physical runs, then you guys get back-to-back, sacks and almost force a safety. It feels like you guys were feeding off each other for a little bit.
Man, it's a shout out to the fans. They're being out there, and just me looking all over the place it's a different atmosphere to play on the blue and just to see all these fans just come out and cheer up and just like we going like this and they're going so high. Man, it's shout out to them that we feed off of them. Like we look around and the stadium almost like full. There's the largest crowd ever, and I was looking around. I was like, man, I just want to take this moment to take it in because it's like this is awesome opportunity just to be on the blue, to play football with my brothers, to play the game that I love. Man, I'm so grateful just to look up there and just there's be a lot of fans.
Containing John Mateer was a big focus for you guys. He breaks off a 52-yard run to start the game, but then ends with 28 yards. What did you guys have to do to just key in on him, get 7 sacks, and just kind of keep him contained?
I mean, huge shout out to Coach Shins. Coach Shins in practice, his sense of urgency in practice, in meetings. I mean, he's the top. He's one of the best coaches out there. And him to come in the halftime and just make adjustments and tell me like we're gonna run this play, I'm gonna do this, or talk to the whole defense. Shout out to him. He's a really, really good defensive coordinator, and I love him to death. So
You're so close with Marco, and again, just the scheme you guys have rolled with this year. That you guys haven't ran with a lot of 2 linebackers, so he probably hasn't played as much as he wanted. But that 4th down stop he had on a quarterback that's one of the best runners in America. How big was that moment?
man, I'm so proud of him. Marco works his tail off, and he's my best friend. I live with him, and I see how he works on a daily basis. I see how he takes care of his schoolwork. I'm just really proud of him. And yeah, he doesn't get as much attention, as much love as he deserves. But man, he grinds every single day. He puts his hand down and get ready to work. And I feed it off of him too, because I kind of look back in my linebacker and I'd be like, hey, you want to run this call? Okay, let's do it. And me and him have a really close relationship. I'm just really proud of him.
There's just a certain sense of selflessness on this team at times, because then you look at a guy like Rod, he's been asked to play a very different role than maybe what he was accustomed to, and then, Washington State goes on an 8-minute drive to start the second half. You guys don't allow any points because Rod makes a play right there. What have you seen out of Rod, especially in that moment?
Man, the words can't explain how I feel about Rod. It's just this defense plays for each other. I was out there, I want to make plays for my teammates. And Rod had the same mentality. Like me and him talking pregame, I was like, I will make a play for you if you make a play for me. So I'm just out there like pushing guys and they pushing me. So Rod is just an amazing human being and an amazing teammate. I love Rod. And from practice too, he's like one of the loudest people in practice as well. So just looking at him and and we do our hand celebration. Man, this team loves each other. We play for each other. And man, shout out to him too. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's a great opportunity.
For Ty to get that interception right before halftime, first of the season for you guys, just how huge was that going into the locker room?
It's huge. It's a huge momentum changer. Just getting that interception just probably changed the whole game, because we went in the locker room, we were fired up and we were ready to go, and it's 0-0 and time to go attack it. So it was huge for him. It was huge for him, and I'm really proud of how he works too as well. He's one of the great leaders out there too, and great communicator. And man, I love this team, and I love Rod, I love Buck, and words can't explain how much I feel about this team, because we are in this together. Like we want to play for each other. Like same thing was with Buck too. Like I was talking to him and I was like, okay, you owe me one. You owe me one. I got a sack for you. Now you owe me one. So yeah, it's the same thing with Marian too. They all are great teammates.
As we're talking about your teammates, there was a moment there where you guys go up a couple scores, and it felt like you were trying to kind of deliver, take whatever life that was left, I guess. And Washington State gets the ball to 25, you get back-to-back sacks, and you almost get that safety. I think it was Brax in the first and Jaden on the second.
Yeah.
just how big was that moment, especially for Jaden, because man, he's missed last couple games, and he finally gets one tonight.
Man, I'm so. Jaden is one of these guys that just like puts his hand down and works. You know, he doesn't talk, he just works. Show up, I'll work. And I feed off of that. I look at him and I was like, okay, it's your turn now. I'll see you at the backfield, Jaden. And he does that. So he's an awesome teammate. And man, it's just a guy like him too that's like puts his hand down and just works and doesn't say a thing and just be like, okay, yes, sir, I'll do whatever it takes to help my team. So he's one of these guys that's also a great teammate.
I know probably you always get excited on game day and to play on the blue, but it feels like, I don't know, I felt like this morning was almost a little different. Like it feels like everybody in the city was like paying attention to this game, and from the moment they woke up. I mean, did you guys feel that as players?
I mean, for us, it's just like, could you say, it's faceless, nameless opponents. It was like, what's the most important game? It's the next one. You know, and Utah State is going to be the same thing. It's like, who comes on the blue, we have to protect our house. We work so hard on that field. That's like, nobody see, like the media doesn't see, only God sees it and us that feel it. So we have to protect our home. This is our home, you know, and we have to hold a standard. We don't lose on the blue. That's our standard. We don't lose on the blue. And whoever comes on the blue, we'll handle them.
How awesome is it as a team to, you know, you guys are in a one possession game there late in the third quarter. You know, you win by 3 touchdowns. You lead at one point, I think, by 4. Just, you know, how awesome was it to be able to finish the way you guys did?
It's awesome, man. It's great. I mean, there's something I just want to say. It's like, all glory to God. You know, all glory to Jesus Christ. That's my Lord and Savior. So I had to say that. But man, it's great. It's great just to like be out there and just work for each other. Like the defense feed on offense feed on defense, and apparently at the end of the day, somebody got to stop Ashton Genty. That's the main goal. But man, it's awesome. It's an awesome opportunity just to be out there and just play, man. It's fun.
You know, we talked about third downs earlier in the season, and that was a struggle for you guys. And I know you looked down, it said 7-17, which isn't bad, but some of those kind of came late in the game. The pivotal moment, they were like 3 of 14 or something like that. So what did you guys think of your effort on third down and getting off the field tonight?
Man, it's just like shout out to Coach Shins. I mean, how you respond, how you coming off the last game and just responding in each play in each series. Like every play and every drive is a new series and a new drive. This is what we're saying in the huddle. Okay, time to go make a play. I'll do my job if you do your job. Like, I'll do my 111. Do your 111. If this is the gap you need to fit that gap. If you outside contain, be outside contain. And just at the end of the day, just come down to doing our 111, and our team did that. Our team did that. The whole defense did that. And great calls by Coach Shins, and it comes down to us to executing it. And we did.
Anything else?
This team has, you know, up until this week, had never been ranked in your time here, Ahmed. It really feels like you guys are moving towards your goals right now. What does it feel like to be making progress at this point in time in the season? Because 4 or 5 games in, I mean, you start to really know your true identity of a team, I guess.
I mean, we see what that team can do. We just, at this moment, at this time, we're just going to keep climbing up. That's our goal. Who's next? Who's on the clock? Put the ball down, and let's go to work.
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ahmed.